Hello everybody, my name is Leah and I'm making this video because I have decided to apply for my second college program. I have applied for fall 2016 and I've been through all the applications and interviews and I'm just kind of waiting to see if I get an offer. And today I just want to talk a little bit about my application process and also about my phone interview, give you some tips on what to study for or what to think about and the way I do it, and maybe it can help you out a little bit in the future. So let's get started.
Hey now, hey now.
Alright, so here's the timeline of my whole application process. I applied January 16th, and then that same day I got emails to do my web-based interview, and then once I passed the web-based, I also got an email to set up my phone interview, and my phone interview was for February 2nd. So I'm going to share with you a little bit how I prepared for the interview, what kind of questions I got asked, and just how my interview went overall. My phone interview was set for 9 o'clock a.m., so she ended up calling me around 9:05. And for my phone interview, I had a cheat sheet like this, and it has just all kinds of information I wanted to make sure I remembered. Prepping for the phone interview, I didn't do as much this time as I did compared to my first program. This whole process was so much more relaxed as an alumni, which is so awesome. But I basically, if anyone posted a question to the Facebook group, I would kind of look through their interview questions and just make sure that there wasn't anything surprising in there. And then the night before, I went through this document on the Facebook page that has all the questions that people have been asked this season, so that I'd be, just familiar with the basics, and especially the alumni questions and questions specific for each role that I really wanted, so that I would feel prepared. If I was able to answer the question right away and I knew it, no doubt, no worries. But if it's a question that I felt was really important to my interview, or if it's a question that I had to think about for a while, that is what I wrote down on my sheet. So I'm just going to read through my sheet, tell you the different sections and things that I have written down, and then I can tell you more about if she asked that question or what we talked about regarding each part of the interview. So when you answer your phone, you're going to want to say, "Hello, this is Leah." It's a polite thing to do. And then they'll probably say, "Hi, this is," and they'll tell you their name. So something on my paper that I have that is really important, I think, if you can see at the bottom, I have a space that says, "Thank you for your time," and then I wrote a little space. And then right when she said, "Hi, this is Renee," I wrote Renee in the blank. This is going to come in handy at the very end of your interview. So at the very top of my sheet, just make sure I said, "Hello, this is Leah." And then I have in the corner, make sure that I just wanted fall because I can't do the fall advantage. I have, why do I want to do the DCP? How will the DCP help me professionally? Because that is the main question that you're going to be asked for any interview. And then I had an alum section, things that I loved from my first program, things that I would change from my first program, because they will definitely ask you why you're going to do it again, and when you're addressing that question, you're probably going to want to say things that you didn't get the chance to do, or the things that you wish you had done. So that's what I put under my dislike category. I have an example of an emergency situation, just so I would remember, and I did get asked, how do you react during an emergency? So I have a little section that is just what roles that I wanted to do. So my top 3 roles were children's activities, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and character attendant. So I wrote down under each one my experience and why I am qualified to do that role, and then also just maybe a situational question for each one that I wanted to make sure that I knew like what was being asked. So she did ask me a lot about each of these 3 roles that I really, really loved. She also asked me about merchandise, attractions, photo pass, and costuming. So we went over 7 different roles during my interview, which is crazy. But some of them were just like her listing what to expect, what the responsibilities for this role was, and then other ones like character attendant, I got situational questions like what would you do if the character was leaving to go to break, or what would you do if the character was no longer going to be coming out for the rest of the day. I wrote down some examples from my first program of a difficult guest that I had to deal with, and also some examples of magical moments that I had, just in case she asked me those, and she didn't talk about that very much. I wrote down the 2 questions that I wanted to ask her, so I wouldn't forget, so I'd make sure I asked questions. Always ask questions. It just makes them know that you're interested. Of course, it's always fun to ask how their Disney story started, how they got their start, with the company. And most of them do start out with a college program. My interviewer said she was on the college program, so that's pretty cool. So you're going to just talk through all of that stuff. My interview really focused on my first program. I didn't get a lot of crazy questions or anything I wasn't expecting. It was all about my experience at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, my experience taking one of the courses, Creativity and Innovation, and how I was able to live with my roommates. So yeah, basically it was just like a really fun conversation about my first program and less of an interview for this program. So it was really fun. One thing that did happen during my interview was the call dropped. She was talking to me about how she had gone to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in Disney Springs, and she took her daughter, and she was like so excited, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then like nothing, and I looked at my phone is like turned off, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like no, this could not be happening to me right now. So that's the only time I really freaked out during this whole process was then, but I turned my phone on, I sat in front of me and just kind of waited for her to call me back, which she did. They will always try to call you back and continue the interview. So we picked up right where we left off. When I answered the phone, I said, hello, Renee, using her name. And that leads me to the end of the interview. When you're all done, make sure you say thank you and include the name, which is why at the very beginning of the interview, when she told me her name, I wrote it down right here at the bottom. So, thank you for your time, Renee. That way you'll always remember it's right there, it's in order, you don't have to go through your sheet to look for it. My interview lasted, I would say, about 30 minutes. It's kind of hard to tell because of that dropped call. I'm not quite sure how long that took, probably only 2 or 3 minutes. I would say it was about 30 minutes long, and it doesn't feel like 30 minutes. It's crazy. Like, it's the shortest 30 minutes ever because it's just so fun to talk about Disney to someone else who loves Disney. So that is my interview. That's how I handled it. Just a few of the questions and topics that we went over. If you have any questions about your interview, I would love to help you out. Good luck to everyone interviewing for this fall 2016 program, and I hope to be giving you more videos this time around so that you can see more of what the college program is like. So thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.